Talking with Words.
Welcome back to Talking with Words. You're here with Rob.
James.
And Ryan.
And tonight we're going to do 2005's Kiss Kiss Bang Bang, which stars Robert Downey Jr., Val Kilmer, Michelle Monaghan, Larry Miller.
Corbin Burnson. The blonde guy. He's on L.A. Law.
L.A. Law.
L.A.
And many other things. But
And apparently Ariel Winter from Modern Family. She must have been really young. If you don't know what this movie is, it's kind of Robert Downey Jr.'s first thing he came back to after Iron Man. It's phenomenal. It's described as, after being mistaken for an actor, a New York thief is sent to Hollywood to train under a private eye for a potential movie role, but the duo are thrown together with a struggling actress into a murder mystery. Yay. Mm-hmm. Has some fantastic dialogue. Let's see. Parents Guide. Sally? I think she went to take Taylor some more toilet paper.
It's his fourth role.
That guy, he's going to have to start paying the water bill. Anybody else have the Parents Guide pulled up or just me?
I've got it pulled up.
You want to do it?
I can. I will attempt the picante accent.
Try the picante.
Sex and nudity, mild. Violence and gore, severe. Profanity is severe. Alcohol, drugs, and smoking, moderate. Frightening and intense scenes is also moderate.
Oh, my. Thanks. Not Sally. Let's get to it. We're running behind tonight, so we're not going to sit jibber jabber too much. Let's go. Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. I love this movie.
I was not disappointed. That was really something.
So at the end of this, and we'll get into all that, I had to explain it to James. And I remember the first time I saw it, I didn't understand exactly what had taken place. It took me 2 watches.
I was so close to catching all of it, but then no. I mean, some of those details went by so fast.
Yeah.
How would you have got them all put together by the time you ended with that?
And the intro is a bunch of time jumps.
Yeah, I think if I was just going to watch this by myself and try and figure out, it would definitely take 2 watches.
Yeah.
At least 2, maybe 3.
It's like John dies at the end.
It takes a little bit of time to get it all ironed out. Is another one of those, and this was obviously way before, but the third wall breaks constantly. Fourth wall?
Fourth wall.
Did I say third wall?
Yeah,
I
fourth
did.
wall.
Yeah, first person, fourth wall.
There you go.
And it was before Iron Man. I was wrong on that. I think I saw it after Iron Man. That's why I thought it was before. Thanks, Blockbuster.
Yeah. I remember seeing it on the shelf several times, but it had probably been out for 3 or 4 years when I watched it.
Yeah, likewise. Let's just go with, I loved, they had the entrance with not
The kids.
with the kids, but not with the Harold the Great, Harold the Wonderful, whatever he was in the beginning. And then they do the throwback to that wall break again. Mom, Pa, Kettle are the fucking front of the lens. Just get out of here. And the people turn around like they just got yelled at and move. The way they did that was really good in this movie.
Yeah.
Deadpool would be proud.
Well, apparently that was Robert Downey's son playing young Robert Downey.
Oh, was it?
Oh.
Yeah.
And Ariel Winter was the girl.
Thanks, Sally.
Somebody's got to keep up with it.
I just figured that out looking at
Since Cameron wandered off.
we were looking at the cast list before the movie, and I noticed there was another Downey there, and I was like, well, that's not a coincidence. And then I just realized that has to be the part he was playing because his character's name is the same as Robert Downey's character's name.
Checks out. And I think his wife co-wrote this.
Look at me, detectiving.
Detectiving. It's a verb. Look it up. So we start with the party, but the party is cut in pieces by the flashbacks. So we have the Harold, his past, and then kind of him with Harmony's past, and then he is a bad narrator and forgets pieces of his own story he's telling. So we jump those again to where the proto-cop's in her room, in her house, and she scares him, so he falls off the balcony, and she's on the news, and that's how she got to the party. And then we have let's see, talks about it, leaving her sister back with her abusive father, the books, the detective books. Are we caught up? Is that?
Yeah.
Oh, we introduced Gabe Perry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I appreciate the character so much.
And he gets beat up.
But I can't believe they
Yeah.
named him Gay Perry.
He's still gay?
It was 2005.
No, I'm needed in pussy. I just like the name.
Just wanted to keep the name.
Yeah, that was fantastic. We also have right after the party, they go to the bar and realize that Harmony and Harold are the two that grew up together, and she was his crush that apparently banged everybody else.
Which,
Including his best friend.
yeah, of all the things that happened in this movie that you had to put together, I cannot figure out how they did not recognize each other.
Well, she recognized him.
Yeah. And he didn't recognize her.
He said she looks like my dream girl from school back in the day.
Yeah.
So he must have kind of recognized her, but he also hadn't really talked to her until they were at the bar, because the first time she was passed out, and what did you call it?
I don't
She only
remember.
passes out in sexy poses or something like that?
Yes, because she did that twice in the movie. She only passes out sexily.
Sexily. And I like when at the end they reveal that she's also been full of shit the entire time. She wasn't in the Gennaro's commercial that
Yeah.
she talked about.
'Cause, yeah, they showed the real commercial there at the
Yeah.
end as he's leaving the stepdad's
The
house.
one you see there is him dreaming after forgetting anything that happened between 2 and 5 a.m. There was another bunch of stuff that happened there because he met Flicka, the stewardess, and yeah, and her matronly friend.
She's not ugly. She's homely.
Homely, that's what it was. Not matronly. There's
And,
nothing matronly about her, really.
Princess Pretty Scary.
Pretty scary, yeah.
Yeah. Indian
Joe Pesci, Punk Steven Seagal.
I loved that.
There was a lot going on in that sequence.
That was just fun. I mean, they had to have so much fun casting that and putting the names on the faces and the wardrobe and the hair.
I just imagine the casting director like walking down the extras being like, okay, who do you look like? Oh, got one.
All to poke fun at other contemporary actors at
Yeah,
the time.
exactly. And this is the end of day one, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. It wakes up with wrong friend and essentially
Princess
gets kicked
pretty
out.
scary.
Princess pretty scary, and then gets kicked out by Harmony. And we start.
No, he goes over to her place and wakes her up at like 6 a.m. He's like, hey, I just need some clarification. She's like, oh,
It's like
you want the before or after you were throat deep in my best friend there?
Yeah. Wrong friend, wrong throat.
Well, it's like every day ended with something that was better and worse at the same time. And like
Well, I
meeting
like
up with
that,
his childhood or teenage dream girl.
Right.
But then he wakes up with the other girl.
Yeah.
It's like, okay, that wasn't where I thought we were headed.
I wonder if that is true to every day. Yeah,
There's
probably.
the finger.
Yeah. Because this is where he starts his case with Perry, his detective training, quote unquote. And it's really where the first part of the whole thing starts going, where they see the murder / dumping the body in the lake. And we have one of my favorite lines from this when he finds a Derringer in the glove box. Do you remember what he calls it, James?
Did he call it his faggot?
His faggot gun, because
Faggot
it's only
gun.
worth a few shots and you got to throw it out.
Is worth 2 shots, then you got to find something better.
I don't know who was laughing more, if it was James or me, but that's a great line.
That was pretty good.
And they find the body. Am I still on
In the
track
truck.
here?
Yeah.
Yeah. And 2 things happen. He yells at the guys that dumped the body, and they're wearing ski masks, so they get to see them, but they don't see the guys.
He has zero situational awareness.
None whatsoever. And then they shoot the trunk open with Perry's gun, and when they realize that the bullet actually went in the girl's head, Harold throws the gun in the lake next to the car that had the dead body in it.
Genius.
Yeah.
Well, I think at first Perry told him not to jump in the lake at all, and then
Yeah.
he did it anyway.
Well, he started saying that, and then he was looking at the trunk thinking, oh, they're trying to dump something. So he actually is, Val Kilmer's character, Perry, is the one who went in and shot the trunk open
Yeah.
because he realized, oh, they're trying to dump something. It ended up being a dead girl. And you know what you'll find next to the word idiot in the dictionary? Picture
The
of me,
definition of
No.
the word idiot.
which you fucking are. He had some really good lines in this. Spider tit, that's my next note. What's between... Oh, yeah,
But
there's a lot between
he
here
had
and
to
Spider
go
tit.
meet her at that party where she's
That's
dressed up.
after. This is when they go back, they dump that body,
Yeah, he'd already lost the finger.
or they leave that body. He goes back to his hotel, finds out that Harmony killed herself, which was actually not Harmony. It was her sister who took her credit cards, and they found her name and her ID on her. Because then Harmony shows up, and while she passes out. She faints sexily.
Mm-hmm.
And he puts her in bed, and there's a spider crawling in her tits. And I was watching James squirm when he was flicking at it. And then he goes to the bathroom, and there's a dead girl in the shower.
In the shower. And he accidentally pees on her.
Hey, we've all done it.
Happens to the best of us.
And then the disposal of the body, I was just watching James again because I knew that he was going to miss the dumpster.
I knew it was that one was not as bad because intellectually I'm seeing it's a dead body. It's like, well, you can't hurt him anymore, but still, just the thunk. It's like
Almost as good as the finger.
Finger was good because, well, no, this is also where you had the cops are looking, kiss me, and it was the two guys kissing.
Yeah, I really appreciate that. Not two guys kissing, but it was the two levels of it though, because I'd never seen. You see all kinds of movies where the guy kisses the girl or the girl kisses the guy to hide from whoever's
Right.
looking for him, and it's distraction. And this is the first time I actually saw it happen with two guys in a movie. I was not expecting that to show up.
At least that kind of movie.
No, they don't kiss in the other ones.
For the year this was done, this is a pretty good representation.
Oh man, and oh yeah, he lied to her that he was a detective. So this is where takes the case, and I think this is where pretty much where the hell's the finger at?
It hadn't happened yet. They went to the lake. They had to come back from that.
He took her case, and then he went to the party after that.
Was
Right?
It was they were
No, it
they,
was
they were
somewhere in there.
arguing in the doorway.
Was it
at
he-
some point?
Was it him realizing that it was her sister that had hired him?
Yeah,
That was the
Yeah.
first time that he had to go back and talk to her.
yeah. Future Rob, delete half of that just happened.
Oy.
After that night, he met Perry on the roof, and Perry's like, "Someone recognized you. You're going to get killed. You need to leave." And told him that he was just there to get Colin Farrell's price down. He wasn't ever going to get the role. Get out of town. And then he also told Harmony that he's not a detective. That's when he went to Harmony's house again to try and apologize, and she slammed the door in his face, and his finger flopped to the floor.
Accidentally severed a digit.
And that was the one
James loved it.
James loved, especially when they showed them stitching it back on at the hospital.
Yeah, I didn't look too close. Were the effects good?
Yeah, it looked good.
They were great.
Yeah.
They were James approved.
Yeah, if you go, then yeah, they did a good job.
It made me not want to find out how good a job they did. They'll get the least respect from me. They'll get the most respect in the sense that I don't want to look at it, but then the least appreciation for how much detail they put into it.
Yeah, all that work, and he's over here shielding his eyes. Because this is where she drops him off. He passes out, or she drops him off at the hospital, and she goes to work and leaves a message for him to meet her at work. And this is where the end of Act 2 is, with meeting at the party, trying to tie the two cases together. Perry shows up. And then when Perry leaves to go check with the police, the two dudes that stole the car grab Harold.
Yep. Because he knows
still,
they know exactly who he is.
Yeah. And he's high as shit.
Oh, yeah, on the finger medicine.
Yeah. And I don't know where the idea came from for the scene where Perry enters. He's like, all these bitches, and then he ducks as a cup is thrown right at his face and it hits somebody else and she screams. That little sequence always makes me laugh. It's so goofy, but what? Okay. Throw that in there. Why not? All these, what was he calling them? The broken people in L.A. and Hollywood.
It's pretty much all of California.
Big fan?
Yep.
We love our California listeners. They're number 4 on the list, actually.
Right behind Hessen, Germany?
No, that's just the U.S.
Oh.
Well, I wonder if that's actually the common thought in L.A. is, do they really... clearly, it's a town where a lot of people move there.
Right.
We have some experience with that here.
Yeah.
But why do they move there? And do they really see that many people that wash out that are like, the only reason they came out here is because there's something wrong back home?
I'm sure, yeah. And people in L.A., like, from my experiences, are very just like, yeah, fuck you. Get out of the way. Not like New York where they're like, hey, fuck you, come on. But they're not really angry about it. People in L.A. seem like they're angry about shit all the time.
Yeah.
The true LAers hate the fake ones.
And they're all just muddled together in there.
Yep.
We're not shitting on L.A. We're just talking about our experience, just to be clear.
Yeah.
You fucking simpletons.
LA.
All right.
L.A. stands for Lowell, Arkansas, right?
That's what it means, yeah. That's what they want to be known as. All the hotshot comedians come there. I mean, why not? This whole thing results in Harold, this movie, Harold getting caught accidentally kidnapped, I guess, by the chick that was playing the daughter. And he wakes up at her house where she's killed to keep her quiet. And then her dog eats his finger that he had on ice. So that's gone forever. Although Perry did suggest shooting the dog. You guys are real chatty tonight.
So when he put the finger on, he just watched this girl get dropped right to the floor. He's hiding under the bed.
Yep.
It's pretty traumatic looking. And then he gets out and he hangs around, puts his finger back on ice.
After he shoots the other guy that killed her.
And the whole time he's doing, there's been a murder. 3 people have entered the house. He's rummaged around the kitchen to find a bowl and ice in his finger and put it in it. And only then do we see the dog. The dog should have been there the whole time. Dogs don't. If you've ever been in a house with a dog is with you at all times.
That's true.
They're not just waiting in the wings to grab a finger. The dog they only had the dog for a limited amount of time, and they weren't wasting time on the shot.
They were on a John Carpenter budget. Is the dog here? Yeah? All right, let's fucking do this. All right, everybody else shut up. We got this dog. He's got to be on the set of Homeward Bound 6 real soon.
Probably. Busy schedule.
To James's point, the story is so twisted up. I'm trying to remember exactly how it went because it's moved around in time.
Nothing came in order.
No? Okay.
That's what she said. Or he.
Between here and there, they figure out that, or I guess it's really Perry that figures out through the panty thing that the psych patients don't wear panties and the girl that was dumped in the lake wasn't wearing panties. So putting the pieces together.
Well, they knew at this
Didn't
point,
Harmony figure that one out too a little bit?
They didn't have a
Because
connection.
she's standing
yet.
out there staring like.
No, she's the one sitting there wearing the panties, and he says something about her being a Reformed Christian, and then when she leaves, she pulls her panties out of her pocket.
Right.
And she is the one that. So all 3 of them together.
Yeah.
When our powers combined, we
Panties
know
bring
panties.
people together.
And that brings them to
Yeah,
the
she's
psych
just
ward.
standing in the middle of the sidewalk, like it's L.A., so maybe it's normal to have your panties in hand.
It's not abnormal.
Okay.
I'd say the same
That's fair enough.
judgments would be thrown in any region of the U.S.
Yeah, I think it's just a, nicety to ignore it.
Never been in that situation, so I'll take your word for it.
Well, someday you may be. And
I'll just pretend like it's normal.
I hope to God that people give you mercy. So that takes them to the psych ward, where they meet a nice lady that helps them out to show that they don't wear panties by dropping her trousers.
They took my crickets.
Kurt Cobain took my crickets.
I love it when they do that. When they finally bring somebody on that's mentally ill and they just have them say the craziest thing that you could imagine that has nothing to do with anything, and that's how you know they're crazy. It reminded me, there's a scene in Supernatural where the brothers are in a mental institution and they're sneaking around trying to investigate, kind of like what's going on in this movie. And they get caught by some orderly or something, and was his Jensen Ackles, he drops his gown and just shakes, and he says, "Pudding," and that works. They're like, "Yeah, you're right where you belong. Nothing to see here. Moving on."
There was
The crazier you get, the less they question it.
my aunt went to visit my grandma, who was in a what do they call it? Memory care unit.
Dementia unit.
Yeah, that one. And some lady came up and started talking to my aunt, and they're outside. Like my grandma's, she just sleeps. So she's on the bench and they're outside, and the lady walks over to my aunt. She's like, "See that plane? That's probably the Waltons. Sam's my neighbor. We were neighbors for years." And she goes on this long story about knowing Sam and how they're good people and their kids and all this. And then a couple minutes pass and they start talking about somebody else. And it's like, well, Bill Gates did this. Bill Gates used to be my neighbor. They're good people. And you're like, since we live in Northwest Arkansas, the Sam Walton story, you're like, yeah, that's plausible. And it's like, wait a fucking minute.
I've heard this before.
So it's like that, which I'm probably going to use that story at some point. I don't know where. But back to the movie. They go to the mental institution, and then they get caught by...
Oy.
Yeah, I probably want to cut that out. They get caught
Henchman
by
number 1.
Henchman number 3, 4, whatever we're on now. And Perry backtalks him, so he hits Harold with his gun. And then as they're walking in, they get the gun back from him, and the first thing Harry does is take the gun and
Smack him in the
smacks
side of
with
the
it.
face.
I think that's perfectly acted and
that's
yeah.
100%.
completely understandable. Who wouldn't do that in that moment?
Your head would still be throbbing at that point. You'd be like, yeah, fuck this
Payback.
guy.
Perry's actually narrating as he takes the gun, explaining why the henchman is too close.
Yeah.
He's like, they're supposed to keep 5 feet away, and if you don't do that, wah!
This could happen. And he also says, and I'm going to break your nose now. And then he smashes the guy's fucking face in. And then Harold decides to play Russian roulette, which apparently he doesn't know how that's supposed to work.
It's just an 8% chance. Stop multiplying.
His math was not totally accurate.
So his body count was, well, in the end, way more. The first one was shocking. The second one was like Russian roulette. And then it just keeps going.
It's like 007, second one's much easier.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I was wondering because they said earlier on because the books pretty much outline the entire movie, the books they were talking about. And at one point she said, yeah, there has to be a torture scene, and then there has to be, like, he breaks out and they kill like 16 people. Yeah, it's always 16 people. That's weird. I was but it definitely wasn't 16.
It wasn't 16.
But this time I was more aware of it watching it through again.
But they did have to end by killing a lot of people.
Yes, that did work out. And there was a torture scene.
There was.
Which was right after this, because this is when they get grabbed again after accidentally killing the one guy that actually didn't have any information, because Harmony was never taken, which is the only reason they were there for him. They thought that they had grabbed Harmony, who was just at home on a beach somewhere.
Yeah, they put themselves in this situation for no reason at all.
And got caught. And then there was a torture.
And we never did get the guy to admit whether he actually enjoyed torturing testicles or not.
Yeah, he was very upset about it, but he never denied it.
You're correct.
And he also said that straight guys never check there. Because the guy, and this reminded me a lot of the Peacemaker scene we talked about in our previous podcast, where he's asking Peacemaker questions, and Peacemaker's like, I'll never fucking tell you. And he's torturing the shit out of...
yeah, the other guy. Yeah, I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, that guy. Starts with a V.
Vigilante.
There we go.
Yeah.
His toes, ripping his toenails off and shit. And this, Perry's fucking with the guy, and every time he gets mad and he's like, fuck you, he's hitting the buzzer and just zapping Harold's balls like constantly. You just really want to see his pecker hanging out there and touch his balls and fuck you. And he's just shocking the hell out of his balls until Gay Perry shoots his gay gun, or his ball gun, whatever he called it at the end there.
How did he get a hand free to do that?
Well, he put it in his pants. He's like, you want to see this? Because his arms were like tied down, but apparently his hands were like in his lap.
Huh. What a terrible way to tie your victim.
I mean, one last yank. He's like, I thank God there was a gun in there. I thought that was like some power gay guys. It was his little Derringer that he had.
2 shots. And to go find something better.
Then find something better. And then we get the shootout. Because they're moving the body. That was the real body, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
In the casket, yeah.
In the casket. And they are going to burn it so that no one can identify it or figure out anything else about it. And that's when Harmony comes in and steals the van with the casket in it, and they do the chase and the shootouts and all that fun stuff. And am I missing something here?
So that body at the end in the coffin, was it her sister or was it the double?
The double.
The paid double.
That?
I'm pretty sure it was the double.
That's why they were trying to burn it?
Yeah.
Okay, that would make sense. Yeah, see, I'm still...
See, it's still confusing.
Yeah. Damn it. Yeah, that was the double. Okay. They were going to burn the double so that they couldn't identify her later on, which didn't work out.
But she still thought she had her sister's body, I think.
No,
she thought it was the real daughter's body.
No, she was trying to get it so they wouldn't burn it.
Yeah. So either she thought it was her sister, and she did not know about the other double yet.
I don't know. God. Go watch this movie and tell us what the hell's going on. I'm pretty sure that was the double, and she knew it was the double, and they told her not to let them get out with it.
Yeah.
She was coming to get them.
Yeah.
And then shootout, they get out of the car because Harmony wrecks. The casket goes over the rail and gets stuck on a road sign on the bridge, and Perry gets shot.
See,
I'm the really grossest mouth to mouth. Yeah.
Keep going. Well, I'm trying to jump forward to the hanging from the coffin.
Oh, we're real close.
We're almost there.
Just keep edging.
Get it.
It gets shot, and it goes through him and hits Harold, Downey Jr.
Yeah.
And he tries to give Val Kilmer mouth to mouth, and the blood just comes out of his mouth, dripping. Yeah. And then, yeah. Definitely more of an ooze than a drip. Jesus Christ.
And then that's when, like, as he gets up to give chase or whatever, sees the car coming around. He's like, "Oh, they're not done. Going back for her."
Yeah, because she
and
that's
jumped
when
off the bridge. That's when the guy, the director, producer, father.
Dexter.
Yeah.
Is his name.
Yeah, Harlan Dexter,
Yeah, Harlan.
the guy that played the
Mm-hmm.
fictional guy in the movie and all that.
He comes up to run him over because he's figured it out, and that's when he tips over the edge of the bridge. And
James, do you want to?
Yes, and so
take it away.
when the coffin that they were trying to with the body, trying to get away with it, rescue it, keep it from burning, it goes over the bridge and sticks, and it's jostled just enough where one arm of the body comes out, and when Downey goes over the bridge, he just happens to land there to grab the hand of the corpse coming out of the coffin. Just perfect handhold, just where he needed it. And I thought that was perfect because who does he shoot right after that? Dexter.
Yeah,
Who killed the girl in the coffin?
right.
Dexter. So
The circle of life.
she, her hand was out there. She did the assist for murdering him back.
She really gave him a hand.
Poetic.
Yeah. Lean on me. Doesn't really fit
Here's
here.
my strong hand.
That doesn't. And also at this point, Harold is doing crazy shit. I don't know another real good way to phrase that because he's holding on to the hand.
Mm-hmm.
And when he sees Harlan Dexter lean over the edge to shoot him, he jostles the coffin. The gun drops. He catches it, shoots
with
Dexter.
his bad hand,
Yeah.
mind you.
And even Dexter was surprised because he's like, Captain fucking Magic, as he's falling, dying. He's like, God damn. And then he falls and he shoots the driver.
The henchman.
Those hunchmen.
Yeah, the henchmen
We
come
got her,
around.
milady.
He shoots one while he's dangling, loses his grip, falls off, lands on the car of the driver he just shot, rolls off as the other guy's getting out, shoots him.
He's still on there, and the driver gets out, and he says something to him, and then the other guy gets out, and he goes,
Yeah.
nope, shoots him. He had his Bruce Willis moment.
And then he was out of bullets.
Then he was out of bullets and ran over Harmony, and she's like, "Oh, the book saved you." He's like, "Not exactly." 'Cause the bullet went through the book
Yeah, then he puts his finger all the way through the book.
in his chest.
Whoops. Whoopsie daisy.
Critics, and that's where we go to them waking up at the hospital, and they do the shot of Val Kilmer's Gay Perry rolling in, and he's like, "I know," as his fourth wall breaking narrator. He's like, I know, it's. I hate it too, and they bring everybody
We
back.
just bring everybody else
Fuck it,
back.
bring
They
everybody
come
back.
Strolling back in the room.
And they actually bring the characters.
All the
in.
people that had died in the movie, Abraham Lincoln,
He's
Elvis.
like, no, we're not doing this. And they usher everybody back out of the room.
I liked that one. And then they have the final straightening out reveal, if you want to call it that, of Harmony's sister, came to L.A. looking for her dad that Harmony told was the character from the books, which Dexter played that character in the movies. So she thought Harlan Dexter was her dad. When she went to meet him, she saw him banging what looked like his daughter because the imposter daughter was also
Assumed it was all incest. And
banging. So yeah, which was what she ran away from at home. So she killed herself. Cover all that?
Yep.
Yeah.
That was like the first act of this movie. A lot of information real quick.
It all makes sense in the end.
Perry goes back to backhand the dad at the funeral a few times.
Yeah.
And
If you're not paying attention, it's a weird scene, but he's
Yeah.
beating the shit out of the incestuous father that got the
as he's
sister
laid up in
killed.
bed because he can't walk and he's on oxygen.
Yeah. And
He's,
Perry
he's beating a cripple.
he just backhands this old man. They make a note of it. Sorry about that. Ugly
Yeah.
shit there. Here's the end of the movie.
Yeah, and then they're strolling down the hall talking about whether or not their fathers loved them, and he goes, what'd he say? He used to beat me, but it was in Morse code, so he might have told me he
Yeah.
loved me.
Yeah.
He never said the words,
He
though.
never said the words. Yeah.
And then that's when they cut over to
The
Robert Downey.
present, I guess.
Yeah, feet up, smoking on the desk
Yeah.
as he's working for Perry.
And Harold has been talking to the camera this whole time, pitching it as a movie, and hence the third person, all that, the entire movie. And we pretty much show that they're working together. They are friends, after all. And Val Kilmer got his Heat look back. The ponytail pulled up and everything. And I do want to know if Val Kilmer ad-libbed his last lines. You don't have to watch the credits. The best boy was one of the producer's nephews. Just go home. Go.
Probably.
Because Downey kind of laughed and patted him, but it looked like a surprised. Must have given somebody shit about that at some point. Oh, he's the producer's nephew. We can't really do anything about it. It's like, God, make him do his fucking job. That's what's going through my head. Or it was Val Kilmer's nephew. One of the two. Anyway. You're still
James
thinking,
is still
aren't you?
confused.
Yeah.
I'm absolutely going to watch this again, though, because that was just a really well put together movie. Everyone nailed their parts.
Oh, yeah.
The storyline's complicated, so you know they had to think about it and put it all together and
Reminds
jot
me a
that
little
out.
of a Guy Ritchie film.
A little bit.
Well, they just break everything up and switch it around, but they made this one slightly more complicated.
It's Shane Black. What's the other one he did? Did he do the one with Russell Crowe and Ryan? What the hell was that called? The Good Guys? The Bad Guys?
Oh, Ryan Gosling, the good guy, the nice guys.
The Nice Guys. I think he did that one as well. It had the same feel. I can't remember, though.
It strangely reminded me of a Fish Called Wanda. You couldn't tell where it's going.
It was all over the fucking place.
It's got some wackiness to it. It's got real crimes and stuff going on.
And that one changes, gears really quick, too.
Yep.
Also,
He did write The Nice Guys.
he wrote it? Okay.
He also wrote the most recent Predator movie, which is weird.
The
The one with Key. The one with like the prisoners and
Predators?
Predator. Or The Predator, excuse me.
I can't keep them straight.
It was the least liked one. No, Predators was a Robert Rodriguez film.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
And that was 2000. No, this is the one that came out in like 18.
This is the one where it's like the cavemen or...
No, that's
Primer?
Prey that came out last year.
Oh, yeah, shit.
Wow, you got these down.
He's a predator.
Still working on my Predator costume for Halloween.
Just say, hey, I'm Ryan. I'm the Predator.
Where's Chris Hansen?
Hey, come sit down. I want to talk to you about something.
Have a seat.
Take a sheet.
Let's chat.
Anyway, anything else about this movie we skipped over? I mean, there's a bunch of great stuff in it. Watch it.
Like I think you called it out at the very beginning. The dialogue in this film is very witty and back and forth. And
Yeah. It's a lot of pages.
Yep.
A lot to remember.
Not a dull moment.
No.
No.
Very good. And then Cameron came in and slept for about 30 minutes and then left.
I
He's
pity,
just trying to get out of the house.
I pity anyone that missed the first 10 minutes of this movie and then started trying to figure it out.
Yeah,
It,
he didn't
it was
have a
bad
chance.
enough from starting out.
He did not have a chance.
You didn't need an extra handicap.
He's got so many.
He just kind of looked up and goes, guys, I don't know what's going on here.
And James goes, me neither, man. Come sit next to me. We can combine forces.
He was right to feel that way. It wasn't going to get better.
No. Oh, shit. All right. Well, that is Kiss Kiss Bang Bang. Go watch it. It's fun. Oh, yeah. The First Thug, those two guys, one of them was from Sons of Anarchy. The black dude that killed the imposter.
Oh, yeah.
That's where he was from.
Yeah.
It's been bugging the shit out of me. Again, go watch this. I'll do the music and then stop myself this time. You did to Sally. We are having our 100th episode party this week, May 31st. I don't know what week it is right now because we're recording this on the 16th. So come to the party. We're going to have some giveaways. We're going to have a raffle. We're going to have merchandise and
Little movie trivia.
We'll get you some drinks if you want some drinks. Movie trivia. That's going to be pretty good. We got to go over that in a minute.
Yeah.
It took me a long time, so you guys, I hope you appreciate it. Saturn's for Suckers and Tides of Shadow, Waves of Fury will all be there, available for purchase. Come look at them and put them down and tell me you're going to think about it and then come back. Or tell me, what did the lady ask? Where do you get your ideas?
Oh, the
So
cat.
ask me questions from my cat. But she speaks in French, so I
Yeah.
have to have it translated. I love Comic-Con.
So is the book in French or what's going on here?
Oh, I hired a translator for the cat. Okay. Yeah, this is about how dumb we are in person, too. So come see us. Doze, May 31st. Starts at 5. Trivia at 6. Thanks for listening, Charlie.